Welcome to Rewild by Design, a podcast for women in midlife who are ready to burn the rule book, drop the good girl mask, and come home to who they really are. I'm your host, Marissa, a human design and Gene Keys mentor, and your guide in this wild woman era. Get ready for bold conversations, raw truths, and the kind of insights that'll shake you awake. Because midlife isn't the end of your story. It's the point where you finally get to write it your way. Welcome back to Rewild by Design. I have been having so much fun with these episodes, I gotta tell you. I look forward to recording them every week and making sure they're getting out to you. So, have you ever found yourself in endless loops in your head that might keep you up at night, that drain your energy, and convince you that you're failing, even though logically you know you're not? And if so, you are not alone, my friend. So many of the women that I work with experience the same overthinking, the analysis paralysis, and just a general sense of, oh my God, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? Just this mental spiral. And overthinking isn't just because you have this active mind. Let's get rid of that thought, okay? Overthinking is because it's the way we as women have been trained and conditioned to constantly second guess ourselves. We're taught and shown over and over again why we can't trust our own inner wisdom. And we have to look outside of ourselves for confirmation of everything. By midlife, these habits feel more than heavy. They start to feel unbearable. And before we get into it, if you're enjoying this show, could you take a few minutes and leave a quick review wherever you listen to your podcasts? Reviews help this show get out to more women like you who are looking to live more as themselves. And now, I used to be that person who thought, oh my gosh, something as small as a review can't make a big difference. But I'm here to tell you, yes, it does. It's a big deal because more women need to show up as themselves. So if we get this in the hands of more and more women, just imagine the possibility. All right, I'm going off on a tangent here. And if you have questions or specific topics that you would like to see on this show, feel free to send me a DM on Insta or send me an email. I would love to hear what's on your mind and what else you'd like to see here. So now back to overthinking. It's kind of sneaky, isn't it? It doesn't look dramatic, but it slowly eats away at your energy. I kind of think of it as like Pac-Man eating those little like dots all the way through. Like overthinking, you're constantly going through this maze in your head of these like loops, replaying conversations, wishing you had said something different, or spending hours and hours researching before you let yourself make that next move. Or maybe planning for every possible outcome until you're too paralyzed to even act. And you just say, F it. Or have you found yourself obsessing over what other people might think, even when they're not really even paying attention, right? People are kind of focused on themselves. Or trying to figure out logically your feelings inside your head instead of experiencing them in your body. Now, the common thread here is leaking energy. Now, see the previous episode about that. But you're leaking energy into thoughts that don't actually serve you and don't help you move forward. And it's not random. Like I said, this is conditioning. Many of us, well, I would say the majority of us, and if you are in the minority, More power to you, and I want to hear from you, okay? But many of us were raised to be the good girls. We have to be polite, careful, responsible. We were taught, don't make any mistakes, don't disappoint anybody, and do not stand out in the wrong way. And if you do stand out in the right way, don't be boastful about it. So our minds end up becoming hyper vigilant. If these are like these mental patterns, right? If I think long enough, maybe I'll avoid the conflict here. Or if I just plan everything right out to the letter, no one will get upset with me. Or if I replay what I said over and over again, maybe I'll figure out how I can be more likable. Overthinking for so many of us has become a survival strategy. It helped us stay safe. It got approval, and it helped you avoid being judged. So we're not here to judge it more. We're just here to notice it, witness it, and what can we do different? Because in midlife, if you're anything like me, you start calling bullshit on these things. And those loops that once kept you out of trouble have been keeping you stuck. And aren't you kind of sick of that? Overthinking has a cost. So, with your energy, the cost is you wake up already tired because your brain has been on that mental roller coaster all night long. No wonder you're exhausted. The emotional cost could be anxiety, depression, feeling resentful, or just disconnected from your joy. The relationship cost could be that you're so busy inside your head that you're not fully present with your loved ones. And I know I've been there before, I'm guilty of it. And the purpose cost means that you spend so much time thinking about what you should do that you never step into what you actually want. And midlife is the time that actually amplifies these costs because your body can't carry what it used to. What you could push through maybe in your 20s and maybe early 30s now just leaves you drained. But I want to say the mind isn't all bad. I've said this in previous episodes too. Our mind is such a powerful tool. It's just been given a job that it wasn't designed for. You know, our minds are brilliant at storytelling, sharing experiences, creating beauty, and connecting to other people. But when you ask your mind to control, predict, or keep everyone else happy, it spirals. It's not meant to do that. That's not its natural programming. So rewilding your mind means putting your brain back in its proper role and letting your body lead your decisions, leading from your strategy and your authority, letting those show you your next steps, and trusting enough in your strategy and authority that you will be led to that next right thing. So you can just let your mind be a witness, a creative tool, and a way to share, not the ruler of your entire life. Now, you don't just break the overthinking by thinking harder. Right? If you've been like me, I've tried that, and it just ends up to more mental spirals. You have to interrupt these spirals by moving that energy somewhere else. So I have a few practical tools that you could add to your toolbox. Number one, ground into your body. This is as simple as placing one hand on your heart space and maybe the other on your belly. Or if you're not comfortable with that, just placing your palms down on the top of your thighs and then breathing until you can feel your body weight on the chair or on the ground beneath you. And this doesn't have to be this sitting in lotus pose for hours on end. It can be literally just for a few breaths. Or two, move your body. Take a walk. Do some stretching. Shake it out. Dance. Do anything to break that loop. And number three, write it down. Empty your thoughts onto paper so they're no longer spinning inside. I used to do this thing, and I need to get back to my journaling practice, called Rage on the Page. Listening to some binaural beats and just brain dumping everything that has been mentally spiraling in your head, and set a timer for like 5 minutes and just get it all out on the page. And if you want afterwards, you can rip that paper up, you can burn it safely, or, just crumble it up and throw it out. And then after that, maybe sit quietly and see how you feel after you've gotten all of those spiraling thoughts out of your brain and onto that page. And number 4, this is one of my favorites, is EFT tapping. This is amazing because tapping on your acupressure points while you're actively saying what's going on in your body or in your mind actually moves it. It lessens the charge of those spiraling thoughts and those big feelings and helps your body naturally get into that rest and digest. So you're going to move away from the fight or flight. And if you want to know more about EFT tapping, send me a DM. I would love to do, maybe we'll do this in one of the future seasons, is we'll do some EFT tapping on the show here. We can also, I think this is number 5, limit our input. We are so inundated with consuming content right now. It is engineered to keep us on these apps. So when you choose just maybe even a little less scrolling, little less comparison, and less of what do they think and all that noise, we can actually make space for what our bodies want to tell us. And lastly, I think that's number 6, start asking better questions. Let's reframe these. Instead of, what if it all goes wrong? Or what if it all falls apart? Try, what is the best case scenario? What would happen if it all worked out? Or what would feel supportive to me right now? It doesn't have to be big. It can just be maybe one small tweak in that reframe. So, as we're wrapping up here today, some reflection prompts for you. Number 1, where do you notice yourself spiraling the most? Is it in the past? Maybe future tripping? Or thinking about other people? Write that down and reflect on it. Don't judge yourself, okay? This is like we're doing the opposite of judging here. We're witnessing. Number 2, what is one small way you can shift out of your head and into your body when the loop starts? So come back to this episode for those practical tools. And number 3, how much energy might come back to you if you patched this overthinking and mental spiral loop? Now, if you're curious about how your specific human design works and operates, go ahead and check out my energy snapshot. You'll get your free human design chart as well as a 10-minute audio that's all about your human design chart. And if you want to see all of the patterns behind your spirals and where your energy is most likely to leak and where your strengths are in your human design, I invite you to check out my Decode Your Design digital reading. It's a full breakdown, again, soup to nuts, of your chart and shows you where the conditioning sneaks in and where you can recondition your energy. And lastly, if you're the woman who is absolutely fed up with the mental spiraling and you want to do life in a different way, a way that's actually yours, or if you have those big dreams that you have told yourself that you would get to someday, I invite you to check out the Frequency Mastermind. This is the space where women are coming together to finally break free of all of those old patterns and the old mental spirals and finally make those bold moves that they've been dreaming of and silenced for far too long. I'll link everything in the show notes. And until next time, I love you and take it one small step at a time.
Well, that's it for this episode of Rewild by Design. I trust that you got what you needed here today, and just remember, you don't need another checklist. You need your own voice back. So go out, live a little louder, a little freer, and a hell of a lot more like yourself. And I'll see you next time.